Ole Bardahl was 20 years old when he arrived in Seattle from Norway in 1922. He only had $29 in his pocket, but his heart was full of ambition. He began working as a carpenter and soon became a successful general contractor. That same year, he bought a small chemical company in Ballard, renamed it the Bardahl Manufacturing Corporation, and began producing a high-quality oil additive that he would test by handing it out to local race drivers. By the mid-1950s, Bardahl Manufacturing Corporation was the leading additive supplier and manufacturer in the U.S. and worldwide. In the early 1950s, Seattle was swept up in hydroplane hysteria, and Ole Bardahl saw a tremendous marketing opportunity in the popular and exciting sport. In 1957, Ole sponsored Norm Christensen's unlimited hydroplane, Tempest, renaming her the Miss Bardahl. Ole Bardahl was a hands-on manager and believed that if you want something done right, you better do it yourself. So for 1958, he stepped up to building his own boat, the brand new Miss Bardahl, designed by Ted Jones and driven by Myra Slovak. Ole's take-charge management style paid off when the new green and yellow Miss Bardahl won her first race and went on to win the 1958 National Championship. Evelyn, Ole's daughter, shared his passion for the sport and accompanied him to many races. In 1960, Evelyn met Rex Manchester, the tall, handsome driver of Miss Spokane. The two fell in love and were married in 1961. Later in 1961, Ole hired a new driver for the Miss Bardahl. His name was Ron Musson. Bardahl built a new boat for 1962. The combination of Musson and the new Miss Bardahl was downright magical. They were virtually unstoppable, winning 3 straight national championships and 3 straight Gold Cups in 1963, 64, and 65. The Bardahl team looked poised for another championship in 1966 when their dynamic new boat won its first heat of competition in the President's Cup on the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. It was not to be. In its second heat of competition, the new Miss Bardahl crashed, fatally injuring Ron Musson. In an unthinkable turn of events, a few hours later, Evelyn's husband Rex was killed when his boat collided with the Miss Budweiser, driven by Don Wilson, who also lost his life midway through the first lap of the final heat. The sport was shocked. Race fans were devastated. For Ole and his daughter, the loss was heartbreakingly personal and profound. There was indecision at the Bardahl corporate offices in Ballard. Should the company turn away from the sport that had brought them national fame, but also cost them so much? Or should they continue to race as a tribute to the drivers that had sacrificed so much? During the team's heydays in the mid-1960s, there had never been any doubt that Ole Bardahl was in charge. But as early as 1961, Evelyn had begun to take on a more active role in managing the team. After the carnage in Washington, D.C., it was Evelyn that convinced Ole that the team needed to rebuild and keep going. A few days before the 1966 Seafair Trophy race, Bardahl announced there would be a new boat with a very young new driver named Billy Shoemaker, Billy the Kid, for 1967. Evelyn took the position of race director for Bardahl, and she, not Ole, handled most of the management responsibilities for all of Bardahl's racing activities, including not just the hydroplane team, but their Indy cars, unlimited air racing, and all their other racing activities. At a time when American culture still embraced the notion that a woman's place was in the home, and in an industry that was totally dominated by men, Evelyn engineered what is without a doubt one of the greatest comeback stories in the history of motorsports. She oversaw every aspect of rebuilding the team and their new boat. She was on hand to christen it in the spring of 1967, and she was with the team in Tampa, Florida, when they won the very first race of the 1967 season. It wasn't just the first race of a new season, but it was the first race since the devastating accidents in D.C. in 1966. The new Miss Bardahl, driven by Billy Shoemaker, designed by Ed Carrollson, and built with help from Ole and the Bardahl crew, won 6 of the 8 races it entered that year, including the Gold Cup and National Championship. Never before had the sport seen a championship team rise like a phoenix from the ashes of death and destruction, the way the 1967 Bardahl team did. To prove their 1967 season wasn't a fluke, Evelyn led the Bardahl team to another great year in 1968, winning 4 more races and a second straight Gold Cup and a second straight national championship. It would be 15 more years before another team run by a woman would equal the accomplishment of winning back-to-back Gold Cups and national championships. For her unprecedented accomplishments in the sport of unlimited hydroplane racing, including leading the Bardahl team to 2 consecutive Gold Cups and national championships, as well as her groundbreaking role as the first woman to lead a successful unlimited team, the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum is proud to induct Evelyn Bardahl McNeil into the Unlimited Hydroplane Hall of Fame.